Hey guys, and welcome. My name's NG Paradox, and we're here for something quite different on the channel. It's a game that I've always loved, and it's a game that I'm always playing. So I thought, you know what, because I'm trying to record much more now, I should probably just be recording everything that I'm doing, just to make sure I can get as much videos up as possible, and just to show you a bit more, some different things, add some variety to the channel, so people don't get bored of the main stuff on the channel. And who knows, maybe you guys might enjoy it. I know a lot of people like Football Manager, and personally for me, I would love to have a series on my channel of it. And I allowed you guys to vote, and you guys, when it came to picking the team, there was one runaway winner in the end. Bath City. I don't know if you guys hate me or love me. Now, personally for me, I love that we're playing Bath City, because actually, you know me, I love to, kind of rise up from the bottom. And playing as Bath City does mean we have to go from the very bottom of the English leagues. Vanarama National League South. It's the 6th division in the English league. We're not even part of kind of the official English league, the top 4, League 2 is where you jump into that. We have to strive to get to League 2 one day. It's going to be a long and hard journey, which may not even lead to success, but I hope you guys will join me for that journey. If you've watched my other series on my channel, you know I like to immerse myself into my games, and that's no different with Football Manager. Hopefully we can make this a fun, interesting journey with different characters and different players. Our manager is going to be Parry Docs. As you guys know, whenever I play as custom characters, that's always the person. So he's now got into... He was leading armies before, and he's been a mercenary before. Now he's managing a football team. So we're going to play as Bath City. Let's go over what we have to deal with, though. Obviously, we're in the Vanarama League South. So you can see here there's 22 teams, quite a few teams. Only the top team will get promoted. That's not good odds, and the next 4 have to go into a playoff. So it's not really good odds to get promoted. It's really hard to get out of these lower league leagues and get into the proper national league. Really hard, but there's so much reward in doing it. We may have to jump ship at some point. I've never played as Bath City before, so I don't really know what to expect. Our media prediction, though, is 10th, which is not too bad. We're kind of in the middle, but just a little bit higher. So that might mean if we can play well and manage well, maybe we can push our way through, possibly getting into one of those playoff positions. That will be my aim for now. I'm not sure if we can come first. Maybe that's a bit too much. Our finances are okay. And if we have a quick look at the finances, we have £16,000 overall. That's all we have. That's literally all we have in our bank account. Our bank account is £16,000. We have no debt, which is good. Having no debt is a great starting point. But that's not much money. £16,000, if you think about it, in the Championship, that is some players' weekly wage. And like in the Premier League, that's like every player's weekly wage. So it's not much money at all in that bank account. Hopefully we can raise it up. We were founded in 1889, so this is a club with a long history. We've been around for quite a while, but we've never really gone very high. Our reputation's very low. It's a local reputation. If we have a quick look at the league history, as you can see here, over the last 20 years, we used to be in the Vanarama National League. So the league above us, we did used to be in there, coming to the turn of the century, but then we got relegated down, and we got stuck in the lower leagues. Then we made our way back up a few years ago, and we got promoted back to the Vanarama National League. Then we fell down again, and we've been stuck in this league ever since. Can we push on Bath City for higher glory? Can we finally get them out of the Vanarama National League? I really hope we can. If we look at the honours, there's no honours. Look at that. All these, they do have some honours, but they're for like low, like this level league. So it's basically nothing. We want to go for higher stuff. We want to go for great things, but that's great. It's nice to have a kind of blank slate, because that means everything we do is kind of new. Anything we do, the fans are going to love us, because it'll be the first time. We'll quick look at the history records. Highest league position, 4th in National League. Wow. So that's, yeah, they've never really been high. They've always been out of the Football League their whole history. Hopefully we can change that. That would be great. We could finally bring glory to this great... Bath is a lovely city. Hopefully we can bring glory to them. And we're known as the Romans. We have some rivals, Chippenham, Yeovil, Newport, Gloucester, Forest Green, and Clevedon. So quite a few rivals. No derbies, apparently. We're semi-professional. That means a lot of our players, they have another job. And a lot of them might not be on proper contracts. that does make it difficult to attract good players in the future. We're going to have to turn professional one day, but we can't do it too quickly. If you turn professional too quickly, it could, bankrupt your club. Our owner loves the club, which is always good to see. And I think now we'll have a quick look at the facilities and the kind of the general stuff in the club. So we can see here, stadium condition is poor, 8,000 capacity. So 8,000 capacity is kind of normal for outside the Football League. A lot of clubs outside of like under 10,000, 6,000, 8,000. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. It's good to have a nice big stadium because obviously that means you get a lot more money if you can attract the fans. Legends, no legends of the club, but we do have icons. Jim Rollo, who is my assistant manager. Not great, but, they love him. The fans love him. We got to keep him around. Maybe he can join me on my journey, and maybe we have to swap him out for a better assistant manager in the future. I'm going to keep him for now. The way I like to play, because I like to immerse myself into the game. You guys are going to see that. We're going to get to know the players, get to know the coaches and whatnot, and really try and see where we can get to. The kind of system, the schedule for this series will be, is that we're going to record every month in the game. So the very first part of the month, I'll do a recording. We'll do a live commentary of the first match of the month, and we'll go over what happened in the last month. What players have been doing well, which ones have been causing hassle, and who's been pissing me off. That's what we'll be talking about in those parts. So every month, so it'll be about 10 parts per season, I guess. Maybe 11 parts per season. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully that gives you guys enough information, but not too much information that it gets boring. That's one problem you can always face. We also have Tony Brook, Paul Randall, and Jason Dodd. I don't know any of these people, but Jason Dodd is a coach, and he's actually pretty good. I wonder if we could get him to come to us. I'll have a quick look. I don't think he'd ever come to us as a coach. But he did used to be with Gosport. Huh. You never know. He did used to be a manager of Southampton. Wow, Jason Dodd's not too bad. Maybe we could bring him as a coach. Probably we can't afford him, though. I'd be extremely surprised if we can afford him. But yeah, so not a great situation. This club needs a lot of work. And let's look at the football team. Let's look. This is the bread and butter of our team. What do we have to work with? And I can warn you guys, I've been through, and this is kind of what I've come up with. I've not come up with instructions just yet. I just kind of went through the players, found out good players and bad players, and tried to make a kind of team that I felt was best out of what we have. Now, just to keep in mind, guys, if you've never played in the lower leagues, these players are all terrible. And I think one of our biggest weaknesses is our striker. We have no good strikers, no standout strikers. This guy, Watkins, is our best striker. And look at that. He's 9 finishing. Not great. He's got good dribbling. He's got good, okay physicals apart from the jumping and strength. So he's not going to beat any of the defenders down. He's going to be looking for space probably, trying to get the ball and just playing with it and pushing it into the net. He's got okay composure though. But I say everyone in this level is going to be terrible. But I will say he's not my type of striker. He's not the type of striker that I normally like, but he's what we got to make do with for now. Yeah, he's never really scored many goals. We might have to look to get some more players in, but that's going to be difficult in the position that we're in. We'll go over that in a second. A good player that we have, though, is Naby Diallo. I'm quite impressed with him. He looks okay. He's got some good, speed here. Acceleration and pace is great. A lot of his other things are just kind of like, okay. But the fact he's got lots of them that are okay is really nice. And so I'm hoping he can kind of help the striker push a bit forward. That's what I'm hoping for. Other than that, our midfield's just okay. We've got quite a few midfielders that all just kind of we have Hunter here. Shaquille Hunter. Now, as you can see, a lot of his stats are terrible. But being a winger, all we need him to do is cross the ball and dribble with the ball. Those are the two main things, and he has that. And he has the speed. Look at that. Pace 16, natural fist is 17, acceleration 15. So he has the speed. So I'm hoping he can just get given the ball and he'll just hit it into the center or dribble it in. That's all we need from him. Dan Ball, I'm actually pretty happy with. He's probably my favorite player that we have, actually. He's actually the captain, I think, as well. And I don't think we'll probably change that. We'll probably keep it like that. But you can see there, look at that. He's got the main defensive numbers. He's got good tackling. And he's got good marking. And his passing isn't too bad either. Good teamwork, good work rate. Those are always good things to have. The only weakness really for him is his physical stuff is all okay. I wish it was better. But out of all our players, I like him. I think he could be a good player. He's only 24 years old. Probably apparently could possibly get a bit better. And then also the goalie. The goalie is the big one. We have 3 actually pretty good goalies. If we have a quick look here at the reports, all our goalies aren't too bad actually. And Max O'Leary here, it says he's 4.5 stars, but personally for me, he's just okay at everything. Now when I have a goalie, what I look for is, aerial reach, one-on-ones, and reflexes. Those are my most important parts. I know everyone's going to have their own things, but for me, those 3 are normally the ones that I like. And he's got okay for that. If we look at our other goalie there, we have Corey Harvey here. He's got great potential there. Not quite there yet, they're saying, but if you look at his stats, it's not too bad. He's got some very green stats you can see here. Eccentricity, rushing out, and tendency to punch. But like I said before, those are not the ones I normally look for. His reflexes, one-on-ones, and aerial reach isn't that great. And those are the things that I prefer. So I do think the other guy might be better, O'Leary overall. The only other one that has quite a bit better stats is Hemmings. I don't think Hemmings is that great, though. When it comes to the stats, you can see here it says that he's it says here 2.5 stars. But when we go off onto there, they think that he is 3.5 stars. Personally, for me, I don't think he's that great. The only thing he's really good at is jumping and strength. So that could be really good though. So when the ball's coming in across or something, he might be able to get rid of it. If maybe when there's a corner or something, he might be able to head it in. The problem is his heading's only a 9. But like I said, at this level, everyone is terrible. You can never tell who's going to be good. You can have a character who's like 2.5 stars, it says, but he turns out to be great. So we're going to have to see what happens. But this is the idea I think I'm going for right now. When it comes to extras, though, under 23, so we don't have many players there. We have a good goalie there in reserves. Like I said, we have quite good goalies overall. I quite like him, but he's 38 years old now. He's getting a bit on. So I feel like maybe we should give him the first to O'Leary. But we'll see. I don't like his reflexes, one-on-ones, or aerial reach either. That's kind of his main problem. He's got some good, sort of mental states there. But yeah, I prefer the other guy first. But he's a great backup goalkeeper. So overall, not terrible. I actually think this team could do okay, because like I say, this league is really bad. But I think it definitely needs some improvements. We definitely need a spare defender. That's the one thing we're really missing. And our lone striker is not good at all. I don't know why we have him on loan. I don't like him at all. He's got 5 finishing. And I thought, okay, he's got 5 finishing. Maybe he has good heading because he has good first touch. No, he's got a 9 for heading. And he's got 8 jumping reach. I don't see the point of him. Marvin Morgan, what's your history? Yeah, not great either. I might have to just let him go. And we might have to bring back Stuart Fleetwood. Because I think Stuart Fleetwood is actually, like, he's not great again, but he's actually okay at lots of stuff. So he could be a good backup striker, I think. I don't think he's too bad. We'll look at his history. Okay, he's not got a great scoring history. Apart from a EFL League 2, he actually had a good time at one point. 14 goals. Not great in 43 appearances, but it's okay. But that's what we've got to deal with. If we go look at our budget, we have 1,000 transfer budget and 702 when it comes to the wage budget. So we could definitely bring in a few more players into the team. So there's definitely room for manoeuvring here, but it needs a lot of work. We need to bring in a scout as well. So that's something we have to do. Now, when it comes to scouting players and buying players, I'm going to tell you guys now how I like to do it. Like I say, because I like to immerse myself, I usually set myself some rules in different games. And in Football Manager, I have some set rules. When it comes to buying players, I have to buy players who are either have an expired contract, so I can go through all these players and buy one of them, or they're on the transfer list. So if they're one of these two, they're on the transfer list, or their contract has expired, I can buy these players. When it comes to other players, they must be players on my shortlist. So they have to be players that were scouted by my scouts before. And that whenever I find a good player my scouts have found, I always put them in my shortlist for indefinite time. And so I always have this massive list of players which my scouts have found and told me about. I think it's kind of nice because obviously, maybe not always, but in a lot of manager situations, obviously, they have scouts to do their networking. The scouts are the ones who are going to go out there and find players. And so I really like that because it stops me then from buying the same players every time I play. Because obviously, when you've played it quite a few times, you do get into that sort of sense that you know what players there are. You know what players maybe are good, which ones are free agents, which ones are quite cheap to buy and have great potential. And you generally then go for those players that you want most of the time. So by having to put it onto my scouts, it means I find different players, and maybe players that I've never even heard of, even thought about before, and bring them in. I always love playing like that. It just adds a kind of extra unpredictability of it, and makes me feel like I'm part of the job and actually have a proper scout network. So I always enjoy that, but yeah. So that's what you can expect of this series. It's just a quick look at what we're doing. But next time we return, we'll be jumping into the first match of the season. So we'll go through the friendlies. I'll try and do some transfers. And our first game will be against Margate, who are predicted to be 20th. So we should be able to defeat them. Like I say, in this league, anything goes in this league. Let's have a quick look at their best player, their key player, Valeri. Now, we can't see hardly any of his stats. Scouting required. He's 30 years old. He is a goalkeeper, though. Reflexes could be 12 to 20. That's... he could be an amazing when it comes to reflexes, so he could be a good goalkeeper. I expect he's quite good, obviously, because he is their key player. We're going to have to get a scout as soon as possible. So, yeah. I've been NG Paradox, and I hope you guys will join me for our adventure with Bath. Can we take the Romans to glory, or will the Romans crumble like the Empire of old? We'll have to wait and see. I'll see you on that journey.